Ibis, of course, in position number 1 with 105 points. But with 101 point, Stormcloud. Just 4 points of difference. On the third place we have Mostafa with 91, so also it's quite close, but so the difference of 4 points between Jan Freibis and Stormcloud. Wondering what's gonna happen. So we have Jan Freibis and Mostafa on track already. So Raven, it's time number 1 so far. Mostafa just behind him. Jan Freibis with a little bigger gap. But so that was just first lap. We've still got 10 minutes to finish the quali. So we're gonna see how it's gonna go. I hope those sounds are okay because I was just changing some stuff. Small difference, small update maybe on my car. So now I have something like that. Maybe I can present. Yeah. So still work in progress, but I have a safety car with awesome lights and it's visible, especially at night. When it needs to be very visible. So that's it. Still we are not gonna use safety car for some small issues with the modification we're using, but I think we're very close to it. So what's the purpose of the safety car and why are we want to use it at all? The thing is, there are some tracks like Monaco where a small mistake can cause a lot of trouble, and just to make it maybe more realistic, we've been thinking about putting a safety car, especially that would be, I mean, quite fun for me to do so, just with 2 laps. Everyone is getting together, so the guy on the top needs to start worrying, okay, there's again someone behind me, so I need to think. So still working on it, don't know if we're gonna make it in this season, but we're trying to. But still I hope this safety car, as there will be no, it's not gonna be used at all. I think that would be better that way. Yet I would like to speak about the track. So Bahrain tonight, and I've been here once, only once. So of course, astonishing views, especially with this. Let's make, yeah, that colors are just making the job here. So basically, what we're gonna see here is a lot of troubles with tires. As always, I'm saying the first corner is the worst thing that can happen, especially when you got corner like that. So it really bends and it's gonna make a lot of troubles. But still, what I've noticed on the previous race that it wasn't about the first corner, it was about corner number 10. So it's not that far, so let's just go here. And here it is. So what's the problem with this corner is the curb. So once you're on the tires on the curb and you just put too much speed, basically you just start flying. You're losing control of your vehicle completely. So that might be the biggest issue as we're gonna see it here. I'm gonna see a check about the tires and how it's gonna work for some people. I don't think so that we're gonna see another driver that's gonna just take one pit stop and try to make it, but still, of course, it is possible. Okay, so Jan Freibis is on the first position, Raven just a little bit gap, Mostafa on the first position, and time gap is getting bigger. So that's about the track. It's very specific track, so we got pretty much 3 long straights. The fourth one, it's not that big, but still corners that expect from you conscious, that just need to be aware what is happening, that you are sure about your apex, that everything's okay. Otherwise, it might bring some issues. So it's gonna be fun watching it. And on this race we have 29 laps to go. So as always, we start on the super softs, and we're gonna see how it works for drivers. Because I'm really curious about the first lap and how it's gonna work and how it's gonna look like. So Mostafa on the first, Jan Freibus on the second position. Let's drive with him and let's watch these lights on his astonishing view. Touring this. I'm just gonna sit here and just watch it. Truly. Really. Yeah, and that's this corner, so we need to be really careful about this. Can't make any bad choices. So it's gonna depend on the style of the driver, and it's gonna depend on the tires and how it's gonna look like. So what I'm expecting just before the pit stop, it might show up that there will be some issues. Now let's just watch how Freibus is making his lap. And his time gonna be bit better, and 1:27.787 to go, and he is again faster. So Jan Freibus pole position, but Storm Cloud make it even better, and Jan Freibus just stopped thinking that's enough. So Storm Cloud, I think, now just showed something Jan Freibus that he was not expecting at all, and the time difference is 0.2 almost. So Mostafa on the third position. So I think the Stormcloud knows what is happening, and he knows that he needs to do his best this time just to make sure that he gonna get maximum points. So if we're gonna speak about the points, for our first position there is 25 points, for the second it's 18. So that gonna give Stormcloud, if he's gonna win the race, first position in the classification. So in general, he will be the first person. But everything can happen, all bad stuff can happen. So Stormcloud and Jan Freibus back on the track. Looks like they're gonna make one more lap just to make sure that's gonna happen. But still, I think the Stormcloud have a really good time, and this 0.2, let's say it, Jan Freibus might have issues with it. Raven is really close. Oh, so it might be an issue for Mostafa. But so it really depends on the race and what's gonna happen. It really depends how they're gonna control the vehicle. I'm just having one question. It's about Raven. I never seen this person before. Or I'm just telling lies right now, but I don't think so I've ever seen it, this nickname. So anyway, welcome Raven. Yeah, just checking the results from the previous races, but I don't see Raven. So new person, always welcome. So Stormcloud and Jan Freibus, these two people might change their roles in this race. Stormcloud, I think he lost some grip over there. So let's drive with Stormcloud and see how it goes. Monolith blocking his way. Fortunately, he let him go. No. He knows that's not it. So that's no for Stormcloud. But is it yes for Jan Frybis? Let's check it out. No, that's no for Jan Frybis. You know that something's wrong. So both of them are not gonna make a better lap. So Stormcloud on the pole position. Still, we got Raven doing his lap, so we're gonna see if we're gonna improve a bit. And there is actually a lot of to fight for. So I think Mustafa is in his range. He can try to take third position. But still, position number 4 next to Mustafa still should be okay. Syntax, it's above 1 second of difference. So let's watch Raven and his progress on the track and if it's gonna be a bit better. Still waiting for his time. Looks really good. The question is if it's that good enough. Still, he's making the lap, so that tells me that there is still a chance for him. Oliver made a bit better time and he's on the 5th position, and that's Raven. Faster, but not fast enough. Still, there was small progress, so I think he knows what there is. What he needs to do, whereas things that he need to work on. So we got Monolith and Gulka on the track, doing their best to improve their time. Hi Sprite, how are you? So Monolith and Gulka are still on the track, so that's the last seconds of this quali, and then we're gonna jump straight to the race. So just waiting for them, and that's Monolith, and bit better but still not good enough, so they don't have a chance. And that's El Gurka, so El Gurka is the last person that's gonna make this lap. And that was a mistake that cost too much, so El Gurka on position number 9. So that's the Bahrain just in front of us with a lot of troubles, I think. Mustafa disconnected. I hope that he will come back. I'm gonna turn my special lights. Just a second, where I have this. Yeah, that's me. And let's maybe go to the first corner. And you're gonna see it from that perspective. Or maybe it's just... yeah, I think I'm gonna stay with the camera, okay. Changing my mind all the time. Yeah, only Ferraris. Actually, Ferrari bought F1 and they just control everything. That's the thing. So, as I say, it's race number 7. It's hard to believe it's already number 7. A race for pretty much everything. Stormcloud or Jan Frybis. Let's see how it goes. And there we are. Looks stable, not a big change. Stormcloud is closing Jan Frybis. And we're in front of him, and there might be some troubles in the middle of it. Jan Frybis is still second. Stormcloud is slowly running away, and all others are making it. So it looks really clear. So let's just go back to pits and see how it goes to the rest. Bob on the 6th position, Syntax slowly running away, Jan Freiberg still 2nd, Stormcloud, he's really trying his best, and there was Alari that lost his position because of El Gurk, and there is Marcelo just behind him. Some mistakes from Alari. Monolith just behind Bob. They're still quite close. Raven almost 1 second behind Jan Freiberg. Jan Freiberg also can get close enough to Stormcloud somehow. So that was a really good start from Stormcloud. And that's Monolith getting closer to Bob Deacon, but still he's leaving this space just to make sure there will be not any issue. And we got Syntax behind Oliver Prenton, and Prenton made a mistake, and Syntax is faster, so that's should be easy job for Syntax, and that's how it looks like. But it might be a wrong way to go to this corner, and it is. Olivier going back again, and now it's fight really close, no space for Syntax. He's trying to fight for it, and somehow it's a bit faster, but this corner might change it. Let's see how it works for Oliver, but no, that was a mistake. His brake locked, and that means that Syntax is on position number 4. Monolith went through the Bob, and already a big distance. Jan Freiberg can't make it close to the Stormcloud. I was really expecting that Jan Freiberg would be actually much faster, at least really close to the Stormcloud, but looks like the Stormcloud is going away with this trophy. Marcelinho just behind El Gurke, trying to find his pace. El Gurke is actually getting closer to Bob Deacon. So Jan Freiberg is quite... I don't understand what's happening, because it looks like that Raven is actually getting closer to Jan Freiberg, but there was a mistake from Raven. Thankfully he's back on the track. But still, it looks like that Raven might be a problem for Jan Freiberg, especially that Raven was quite close to him, so it depends how fast Raven will get close to him. Marcel in front of El Gurke, so that was the corner that changed his position. And I don't think El Gurke can say anything about it. Looks like that he almost gave it to him. There was too much space, and he was too slow on this corner. And now it's Bob. Bob in trouble. So Marcelo wants more. Wonder when the first pit stop will show up, so everybody's on the super softs. That was Marcel trying to show himself in the mirrors of Bob. So the Bob knows that something may happen. Alari was out of the track for a second, so a big time gap between him and El Gurke, so that looks like that Alari is slowly out of the race. So Marcel, fastest lap by Stormcloud, so he's really making his best. Jan Freiberg 2 seconds behind him. Raven again getting closer. So it looks like that Raven is actually a really fast person here. So really never seen him before, and that's Marcel overtaking Bob. Again, this corner, let's call it corner of opportunity. It's just, you could see that's the second overtaking in this corner with without any trouble, without any problems from a driver. Or maybe just about the drivers. So it's about the Marcel that he was actually much faster, and he exactly knew that there will be no problem, and that's Ligurke trying to do something. Bob blocked his tires, but still making it. That doesn't look good for him. Still Ligurke just behind him. Oh, those lights are already making work down here. So Ligurke still behind him, and it's quite close. So just one mistake. One mistake from Bob, and that means that Ligurke will take his position. So Storm Cloud a little bit slower on this lap somehow. But Jan Freibus was even slower. Raven slowly getting closer. So maybe he's taking small steps. But still, it is possible for him to take Jan Freibus' position. And we had a Marcel out of the track. Thankfully, that didn't mean anything to other drivers. So Bob took back his position. Ligurke position number 8. Marcel 8 seconds and a half behind Ligurke. And Alari 10 seconds behind Marcel. So maybe let's go and see how is Raven doing, because it really looks like that it might be a close fight soon. Hey Ultari, no, I'm not gonna play any songs during the race. Maybe after. Not during the race. During the race we can only hear the sound of the engines and the exhaust. So Raven getting closer. Jan Freibus knew that it might go wrong, so he blocked one of the sides of this corner, and there is spin from Raven somehow. I don't know what happened, but didn't look well. Thankfully that he's back on the track, but that's 5 seconds behind Jan Freibus. Monolith's overtaking Syntax. Looks like I'm missing all the fun here. Jan Freibus is 3.7 seconds behind Stormcloud, so that's a very big difference. Monolith has small issue with his rear right tire, but still taking his place. Okay, now my cat thinks that's the right time to pet him, so I need to do it, sorry. Oh no, that's time to play, okay, wonderful. Syntax still quite close behind Monolith, but I don't think so it's gonna work that way. Looks like that he's trying, but I don't know if it's enough for him to take his position back. Let's look how it's gonna work on this first corner, because that might be a chance for him. And yeah, that's so nice that it's much faster, so he took his position. And early braking, Monolith knows, and yeah, that was a mistake from Syntax right now. So there was enough space for him, and again taking this position back. Monolith can't say anything because he's just way too slow for it. Monolith might fight back, but if it's gonna happen on this corners, and now a small mistake, and no, distance was too big, and that's a mistake from Monolith. That's another car. I can see that it's making the same stuff. So Monolith 2-3 position down. So it didn't end well for him. Now it's El Gurke behind Bob, getting back to him. So maybe it's just about the track, or it's hard to say, but it looks like that might be about the tires also. So maybe there is a tire that is quite cold, or maybe it's overheated. Might work both ways. And once they're out of the corner, they're trying to get faster. They get faster too early. That means that they don't end well. I'm gonna turn on my lights. Oh, now it's better. So El Gurke and Monolith are in the pit stop. So El Gurke, let's see his tires. El Gurke is on super softs. Monolith put the softs on his car, so I think that's more reasonable than super softs. But let's see how it's gonna work for El Gurke. So maybe he knows that these tires are giving him a lot of grip and he can use them well, but that means that he's gonna take another pit stop. So that was 8 laps he took. I mean, my math saying that he's gonna take softs at the end, so the second pit stop will be for softs. Let's see how it's gonna work for a Monolith with softs, how long he can keep it. But that was actually quite early pit. And El Gurke fighting with his vehicle, and there's a Larry just behind him, so he needs to watch out for that kind of mistakes. Now we can see Oliver is slowly getting closer to Raven, and Raven slowly getting closer to Jan Freibis. So the question is about the next pit stop. So 9 laps done. Stormcloud with a huge lead. I mean, 6-7 seconds of gap at that point. It's just not even the half of the race, and already we got that big gap. That pretty much means that the Stormcloud's gonna just rule this race and hope nothing bad gonna happen to him. So that's this corner I was talking about, and looks like that Slow is making some problems. Syntax was fighting his vehicle. Bob also small problems with it. And I'm really quite surprised about Jan Freibis, because I was expecting that there will be fight with him and Stormcloud. So as always, I'm saying that the quality doesn't mean anything, it's about the race, and looks like that Jan Freibis can't make any change. Okay, now he's gonna change his tires. So let's see, Jan Freibis is on the softs now, so that's his strategy. So 10 laps on super softs. Is Jan Freibis gonna try to make it on the 1 lap? Okay, Stormcloud still didn't change his tires. It might be on this lap, and it might be the good decision. But still, he's making a quite good time, so I don't think so it's necessary. Still, we need to watch out his time, and I think that he will exactly know where is this time to make a change, to go back to the pits. Still, other drivers didn't take a pit stop, so not many of them changed tires. And I think that the Stormcloud will be that person that's gonna take only 1 pit, and that definitely gonna work for him. So let's watch Storm Cloud. No, that's the another lap without changing the tires. 132.331. So a bit slower, but maybe just about this lap. 132.694. So Oliver definitely is slower. Raven is in the pit stop, so let's see Raven tires. So where is Raven? Raven is out of the pit and he's still on the super soft. So I'm surprised that people are actually still standing on the super soft. I was really expecting that everybody gonna change it to softs, but no. So that might look interesting. So we have Jan Freibes on softs. That says to me that it might be just one pit stop for him, because you know that the two pit stop will just probably kill him, and that was a mistake from Alari on this corner, and Numanov just use it. So maybe Alari just needs to work on something, because that definitely look at that he couldn't make it through this corner. It was more like a fighting with it. See Jan Freibes, he's just behind Bob and slowly getting closer to him. Stormcloud another lap, bit slower than the previous one, so it definitely is about the tires, and I think that's the right time to change them. I wonder if we can actually still use them. Fast lap by Marcelinho, so Jan Freibes made an even faster lap, 137.83. So I think that's the warning for Stormcloud. Just he need to go back to pit stop and change it as fast as he can. So let's see where is Stormcloud. And that might be the lap that he's gonna take a pit stop and change his tires. Jan Freibes, he just overtook Bob Deacon. You see there's no issue with it, because Bob Deacon still is on his old tires and it's already 1 second. 1.2 we're getting to. So let's see Stormcloud if that's the right time to take a pit. I think that's the correct time to change it, because if he gonna keep driving on this tires, and he gonna just be slower and slower, and then he gonna take a pit, it might end that Jan Freibes will be in front of him. So that's the right point. And just watch it, because he still should be fast enough to be in front of Jan Freibes. Let's see it. So Stormcloud on softs. So yeah, that's gonna be one pit strategy. Marcelinho also in the pit. And that's Jan Freibes behind Stormcloud, so he made it. Now let's just see the time gap, 3.7, 3.5, 3.3. So the question might be that maybe the super softs were the tires that didn't work for Jan Freibes. Now the only thing we need to watch out is the time gap. So Stormcloud got the right temperature. The question is if he can keep it like that, because Jan Freibes is getting closer to him somehow. I really don't know what happened, because on the super softs Stormcloud was so fast that Jan Freibes couldn't get closer to him. There was a big gap between them, and now we can see that Jan Freibes is fighting back. It might be the amazing fight between them. Still, some people didn't change their tires, so just waiting for it. It's definitely some people gonna need it. at some point. So Oliver is in the pit. Also gonna see what kind of change he gonna make. So super softs as always, and the change will be softs. So that's gonna be also one pit for him. Bob Deacon is also in the pit stop. 14 laps on the super softs. That might be another time super softs for Bob Deacon. No, he's getting softs, so he knows that it didn't work. So actually he could take this pit stop earlier, so doesn't look like good pit stop strategy. Let's jump to El Gurke because he's just behind the Syntax and it's very close to him. El Gurke on super soft, Syntax is on the soft, so that might be advantage for El Gurke. Question if you can use it. Now a small mistake from El Gurke, but still close to him. That's another mistake, but he's getting the speed much better than Syntax. He's trying from this side, might be dangerous. Now he lets Syntax go, but it might be about the speed on these corners right now. And now is the question if El Gurke can be that fast enough to overtake Syntax. Distance is not that big, so definitely a chance, definitely a possibility to make a move. And again, the distance is getting bigger, but it's also about this corner. It looks for me that Syntax in some parts is losing a grip. So it might tell El Gurke that there is a chance Alari is in the pit. And can make it, so it looks like that at some parts of the track actually he is better, and that's Marcelinho overtaking Oliver. That was just a matter of the speed and nothing to talk about. So Oliver got a new tires and still he couldn't make it. Marcelinho is on the softs and Oliver also on the softs, so it should be pretty much the same, but the difference in speed was actually quite big. Jan Freib is 3 seconds behind Stormcloud and this time looks pretty much still and doesn't change at all. So 3-second gap, I don't think so if I want to be that close. I mean, if I would be in the Stormcloud position, I know that Freib is a big danger, so one mistake might bury him. But still, that's Stormcloud making that dot at the end. That's his time, that's his track, and definitely is. Don't know if we can keep it. And also it depends how he gonna drive at the end of the race. So I'm talking about last 3-4 laps, where the tires will be pretty much worn and there will be nothing much of them left. Still seeing Jan Freibis at the mirrors, that's not something you want to see. So that was half second of difference on this lap. So Stormcloud was pretty much faster. Now is the question if he can keep it, because one lap may go better, one lap may go worse. Other drivers got a big distance between them, so nothing much to show. That's Oliver Bertwi behind Marcel. But Marcel is running away. Actually, it looks like. So Oliver can make it. Alari 31 seconds, Monoli 5, Bob 4, Elgurke 4, Syntax 3, Oliver 3, Marcel 6, Raven 12. And Raven is still losing time to Jan. Let's look at the Marcel time, but looks like Marcel is also slower. So looks like that Raven is on the third position. So first race, third position. Maybe it's just about getting to know the vehicle that behaves different. It's open wheel, so it's always different. That you need to know, you need to be worried about so many things that one mistake can cost you a lot, because once you're gonna lose something, you're gonna hit something that's not gonna take you anywhere. But still, the F1 is that kind of vehicle that you need to drive pretty much at the edge, just to make sure you're gonna use all the power you got, all the grip you got, and then you got a lot of it comparing to the other vehicles. Ligurka in the pit stop, so that's second pit stop by him. So the super stop's gonna be changed. Monolith also in the pit stop. But definitely most of the drivers are just keeping one pit stop strategy. You've seen it many times. And looks like that this truck is allowing other drivers to do so. Jan Freibis 4 seconds behind Stormcloud. Can't make any difference here, so definitely Stormcloud is faster. Unless some magical thing gonna happen, I don't think so that's gonna change. So maybe I'm gonna speak about a small project I'm working on. So basically there was an idea about Marcel got the fastest lap somehow. So that's interesting, because it's always up to the top 2 drivers that are making the best laps, and we got Marcel that he made the best lap right now. So quite surprised, but well, it looks promising. But so 5 seconds behind Raven. Now maybe it's slowly decreasing. So maybe it's just change on the Marcel just in case. Anyway, I'm working on a small project that it's called Back to Pits. It's gonna be a small series, up to 15 minutes, and it's gonna be focused mostly on the sim racing and what's happening. Unfortunately, I'm speaking right now in English, but it will be in Polish, so I'm talking to Polish viewers right now. The premiere of the first episode will be on the next week Sunday. That will be 15, yeah, and 6 p.m. UK time, so that will be 7 p.m. Polish time. Still, there is many questions. Raven is in the pit stop, so that means that Marcel is taking his position, and that also means that Oliver can take it too, so that's also Oliver. So the strategy for Raven didn't work well when he's landing on the 6th position, and yeah, other drivers not gonna take pit stop. It kind of hurts actually. So that's Marcel on the 3rd position. So the things I'm doing. So basically about chroma key, that will be the blue one I'm gonna use. I've got the light, so pretty much it should be it. Don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how it's gonna look like after, because that will be the thing that I'm just gonna record, modify it a bit, and then see how it works. But still, that's kind of idea that I'm really... that it was maybe on my mind, but people start talking, maybe you're gonna do the studio, just like not just race studio, but something else. And I was okay. And once I heard it, was like plenty of this in my mind, and I pretty much know what I'm gonna do. Still don't know how it's gonna look like, and what the results will be, if I'm gonna be okay with it. But still, the release will be in the next week, I hope. Still, some things may change, but I will inform you just in case. But well, I'm quite excited about it. Hope it's gonna work, hope it's gonna be fun to watch it. Yeah, but there will just like just 15 minutes, that will be short. So pretty much all the information you got. So if the thing is that I want to say is about the race, upcoming races, the races we had, and so the races we had, the races in the following week, in the sim racing total. So we got the Assetto Royal Racing, Flag to Flag, if it comes to the Assetto Corsa. We got the IRG if it comes to Air Factor, Polish project cars. So that's another one. So I'm gonna concentrate on this 5 and talk about them, talk about the results. Maybe I'm just gonna do something like the best shot of the week. There's always something to show. Of 2 weeks, that will be, I think that will be just in a 2-week basis, and that's how it's gonna look like. And I think it's worth a try, even to see how it looks like. Maybe I'm gonna learn something. It's always about that things. So maybe the result will be just like well, no, just leave it, don't touch it anymore. But still, I mean, if it's gonna work, if it's gonna look okay, and there will be much more ideas to evolve, to improve the formula. That's where I'm going. That's who I think I want to head. Sorry, I'm talking about some things that are not necessarily connected with the race, but still, there's nothing happening, so I'm trying to fill the hole here. And the thing is that I need to start wearing some good stuff on me, so I'm the normal looking, so I think the Nirvana t-shirt won't be a good idea to wear. So basically, I'm always open to any ideas what should be in this 5 to 15 minutes, what things I should talk about. Because I'm still thinking about it, still making some decisions, and boring as F1. Yeah. I mean, I can talk about the safety car. If it comes to the race. My lights were there. Oh, here we are. So yeah, I haven't got the painting special. Yeah, so that's the idea. Nirvana t-shirt is always a good idea. Not gonna say no, but still. At least trying to make it look a bit professional, not the casual stuff. Of course, how it's gonna look like it's just random for me right now. But still, I'm gonna do my best to make sure it will look at least as half as it looks like right now in my mind. So there will be premiere on YouTube. So I think that will be the only series I'm gonna post on YouTube right now, besides the races. I just don't count them because that's just race stream, pretty much. Yeah, but the F1. About the F1 is, I remember that every Sunday morning, just in front of TV, and watching the whole race, the whole quali, the whole practice, and that was the time I was always thinking. So that's the Raven overtaking Oliver. I'm sorry, Syntax, and this fight. I mean, look how the vehicle behaves. So Raven made a mistake, and now it's Syntax taking his place, and that was Raven trying to block him. Now it's gonna take that side of the first corner. And now Raven was faster. That was maybe a small mistake from Syntax, and Syntax also couldn't make it good looking. So definitely Raven is faster, but looks like they are fighting with their vehicles on this track. I mean, the way it looks like says me that they don't control it that much. And the time gap between Raven and Syntax 1.5 already. So no chance for Syntax to go back, but so he was trying to do something. So now Raven is going back, coming closer to Oliver, and it's happening really fast. So let's change for this beautiful camera. Oh, I love the way the lights looks on it. .9, 0.8, getting closer to Oliver, and he knows it. Now looks like that Raven actually is much faster, but it shouldn't happen on this corner, and I think he knows it. Still showing the mirrors, so let's see how Raven behaves. Oliver, small mistake, and he lost this precious seconds. And that's Raven attacking him. There's such a difference in speed. And Raven knows how to behave, knows how to block his opponent just to make sure that he won't overtake him. And that's Raven. 2 positions in such a short time. So it's definitely about the new tires he got, because he took 2 pits. Still, he's 4th. He's not gonna take Marcel position. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't see any chance that it could have a place. Stormcloud still doing his best, a bit faster than Jan Freibis. And I think that Jan Freibis knows that there is no point doing everything he can. It's about the tires. Jan Freibis took a pit stop much earlier than Stormcloud, so Stormcloud definitely got the better position here if it comes to the tires. And Jan Freibis, I think right now all he needs to do is to just deliver these points and don't be bothered about the first position, because it's out of his range. Still, he needs to drive fast enough. But 15 seconds of difference between him and Jan and Marcel, that means that he don't need to worry that much in this race. So looks like the Stormcloud gonna take the first position in the general classification. So it comes to the other races. So that's 3 laps to go. It doesn't look like that anything's gonna change here. Raven, small mistake, but still that difference between the river is big enough, and it's not gonna change. Two laps to go, so slowly we're getting here. So Bahrain, as we can see, that's one of the races that nothing bad happened in that way, that I don't see any DNFs. Really, I don't see any DNFs. We need to remember the first corner is a hell of a corner. I mean, one of the worst corners you can imagine for the first one. So we are right now here. Just look at this corner when you got all the drivers at one place. Problematic, isn't it? Still, not a single DNF. Alari, okay, he's on the last position, but still fighting, still doing his best. And I think there will be a chance for him to fight between him and Monolith, especially that they're pretty much making the same times, but it didn't work this time. So maybe the next one. So if we're gonna look at the calendar, so the next race will be in the next week, and that will be a Chinese GP. And the track for the Chinese GP is I mean, that is really strange. So we got the Shanghai GP, and that might be something that I'm waiting for, especially that we are so slowly running out of the races. So we got the Chinese GP in front of us, and then we got the Portuguese GP, so that's the last race of the season. So that means that only, not including this race, we got only 2 races to go. And that's not that much time for Stormcloud and Jan Freibis. So now Stormcloud gonna take the first position. Jan Freibis will be just behind him. The difference in points will be that big, but still, I think that will be much better for Stormcloud. Now it's only the question about the upcoming races, how it's gonna look like. How much points will get Jan Freibis and how much point will get Stormcloud. So race number 7, as we can see, is slowly getting to the end, with a surprise for me that the Stormcloud is starting his final lap as a first driver. Not that it's something bad, but I was really expecting that Jan Freibis will be again the fastest driver here. And we got 5 seconds. Jan Freibis is 5 seconds behind Stormcloud. Something that was not expected from me, and maybe from other drivers too. So the thing that we need to look for the upcoming weeks is the general classification. We just need to see the points and the possibilities. If the Stormcloud gonna lose the next race and he will be second and Jan Freibis first, that means that the last race in Portugal, that's something you have to watch and something you just need to count the points and see how they look like. So basically, from now on, I'm gonna just really look at the points and see how it's gonna work for drivers, and seeing about their position at this time and how it's gonna change. So one more time, for Stormcloud, that was the race that he can say that was the best for him. So Stormcloud just finished the race in first position for him. Jan Freibis also behind him, but still second position, 18 points going on his account. Now waiting for the other drivers. So Marcel, third position, Oliver on the 4th, Syntax on the 5th, and that's Raven. Okay, wait a second. I think that Raven ran out of the fuel. I think that Raven ran out of the fuel on the very last corners. Ouch. Ouch. That hurts. So wow. Oh my god, Raven. Raven, what have you done? I really didn't expect that. I mean, wow, I'm sorry. Just... So Stormcloud, position number 1, Jan Frybis on the 2nd position and Marcel on the 3rd position, and because of a mistake of Raven, Oliver is getting on the position number 4. So thank you again for an awesome race. See you in the next week. Take care, guys. Stephanie out.